Well, hello there. Welcome back to day 3 of Elevate Your Life. Today I am standing because today is the day where we start putting everything together into how your thoughts actually start affecting your body. So today is the day. Now, I hope on the last video that you went ahead and put some work in and you started monitoring your thoughts and you started figuring out what you think so we can start changing those thoughts. And today is how we can actually affect them by how we sit, stand, how we interact with our body. So a lot of people think that those dark thoughts that are floating around in your head, that's it, that's what it is, it's just getting through it. You can change them. It seems to be a common theme that I share with you, right? You can change it. So today is going to be the day where we start integrating, and I can literally show you how you can kind of go from victim to being the victor in your own story, okay? And the first way that we do that, have you ever thought of Superman? You know, this pose, the hands on the hips, shoulders back, I can take on the world, that pose. The one that you see is in Grey's Anatomy and everything like that. So something to know, let me go ahead and bring you some of the science here first on why we're going to do this. Actually, when you do that, you increase your cortisol by over 40%. Cortisol, in my definition, it's the kick butt hormone, okay? It's the hormone that makes you stand tall. It's the hormone that puts you up in the hierarchies and the social hierarchies that exist. It is also the hormone that you will be 40% more likely to do whatever it is you are doing if you increase your cortisol. Now, that being said, it's not like, and there are many, many wonderful, beautiful people that say, stand up straight, put your shoulders back, take up some space. They're not wrong entirely, but it's not like we can all go walking around like this all day, every day, right? Like, woo, like it's a very aggressive energy when you do that. If you stand outside in an interview and you go, whoa, okay, it's very aggressive energy. We got to learn to tone that energy down, and we actually got to learn how to change our own energy first. All right, so something to think about when it comes to your body and your emotional connection is that, let's just say you're happy, okay? You got that thing that you've always wanted, you always dreamed of, and you just have the biggest smile on your face. You can just picture it in your head right now. You have the biggest smile on your face. Think about getting that thing that you've always wanted. And what happens? You start smiling, right? Let's just say you heard the funniest joke you ever heard. You start laughing, right? As a reaction to that input. Now, here's the thing. And this is what I found was really interesting when I was studying this information and when I was learning about it. It goes both ways. So you think something happens, and then I have an emotion, right? You can actually, that neural pathway from stimuli to reaction can actually go the other way. So if you wanted to be happy, all you have to do is smile. Seriously, right now, right here in this video, just practice smiling. Just feel your spirits lift as you smile. Or here's an even better one. How about pretending that you just heard the funniest joke you've ever heard in your life? Funniest joke ever. Feel the emotion go up. Okay, now here's the other thing. And this is where, you can read people and you can learn things about yourself as well. When it comes to depression, when it comes to dark negative thoughts, how do you think someone like that might be sitting? Might be a little hunched over, might be a little quiet, might be a little, can you feel it? Can you feel it in this video? Do you feel the energy drop to the floor? Okay, so if our emotions, if we can trigger our emotions through our body, well then how do you activate the cortisol? How do you affect the kick butt hormone all the time? Not just some of the time, all the time. That's the goal here, is to constantly have an internal sanctuary, an internal peace, a foundation so strong that you can be a rock in the ocean if you want to be. What do I mean by that? Your internal environment can be so impenetrable yet affected. So like a massive boulder in the ocean where, some of those rocky shores and you're constantly seeing the waves pound upon the rock, you can be a rock that does not move, does not budge, but gets a little more interesting with every wave that goes by, with every little bit on the outside that gets carved into by their experiences. No different than the metaphorical scars I was talking about before. You get a little bit and a little bit more interesting. So that is what this is going to be all about. Now, that being said, you can't go walking around like this all day long. It's just not possible, okay? It's just not possible. You can't go, whoa, like, yes, take up space. Ooh. Okay, you're not going to get the job. You're going to come off extremely aggressive, and anyone that hires anybody is going to tell you that if you come off that aggressive, you're not going to be a fit for their team. And if you're not going to be a fit for their team, you're not going to get the job. You're not going to hire that person. That person's not going to want to work with you. So what's the trick? So and one of the big things that's talked about a lot is stand up straight with your shoulders back. Like, ooh. Okay, that doesn't work either. And that comes also from a person that I actually learned a lot from. So how are we going to do this? How are you going to be going around all day in your life and yet still be in that consistent state? Well, it all has to do with the sternum, or in my case, the way I like to refer to it is the heart, okay? It's going to be this area here. This is the area you want to focus on. Now, that's going to be your rib cage, okay? That's going to be your diaphragm. So there's two parts to this. The first, and I better take this off so I can demonstrate this a little bit. It is freezing cold in the south of the United States. I'm in a desert state, and it's like 17 degrees outside. So, yeah, it's a little cold. Right. Okay, so let's get to this. This part here. Now, if someone is depressed, they're going to go like this, okay? They're going to be a little hunched over. They're going to be a little, Here's the thing what we're going to do. We're going to pull the shoulders back. And then here's the thing. This part right here, the part that covers your heart, also known, if you ever took anatomy, your sternum, at all times, all you want to do is have it pointed up. Now, I've been doing this a very long time, so let me see if I can try to be normal. Yeah, okay, here's normal. Yep, see how I'm straight? Or even worse, see how I tilt down? What if I tilt down? Okay, and look, when you can get a chance, try this at home. Now, don't do this in a car if you're listening to me on the car, okay? Get somewhere safe. And when you have a minute, try this. Hunch your shoulders, point your chest down to the floor, feel the energy fall. Okay, now here's normal, right? Where the line is straight across. Here's where I'm at almost every minute of every day. I have my sternum tilted up. Now, instead of the shoulders, which we can't always have them back, right? We have computers and we have driving and we have things, like you can't, you'll be locked back there. You just can't do it. So what do? It's this. This is the cornerstone. This is the foundation which everything rises. So by tilting your chest up, and look, I'm not like, okay, I'd like to get down the street without having any hassles. Okay, I don't need any problems here, okay? And if you want to do that, good luck. It's an interesting world out there. My point is we're trying to affect the internal environment here. And it's not straight, it's not down, it's pointed up. Now, there's a couple things on this. And it's freezing, so I'm going to put my coat back on. So a couple things. Okay? When you're doing that, it's hard to do it at first. You're trying, first you're going to notice that you're in a certain way like all the time, okay? You're going to notice that you're pointed straight, that you're pointed down, whatever it is. Like it took me like seriously like a month to nail this thing, okay? Don't expect to get it within the first 24 hours. All these things I'm giving you are things that you're going to have to work on. Let's just be straight honest. But you can cue it. So if you're in a pattern of constantly having your heart pointed toward the floor or straight, one of the things you can do is maybe snap your fingers, or like, I don't know, just like tap your wrist. Like, hey, no, we're going to break that. You have to have something to break that pattern, that behavior, okay? If we're going to change behavior, you got to break the old stuff first. So, okay, like I'm walking and, I've just been walking straight. I haven't done what Marie was talking about. Snap, crackle, pop, up goes that. There you go. Now, I will go ahead and share for me personally, and this is just something for me. I do believe that there is a God. Now, I'm not trying to change anyone's religion. I believe there's a God. Take it as it is, call it the universe, whatever suits your purpose, okay? I'm not here to try to change anyone's religion or tell them what to think or believe. That being said, for me personally, I wanted to integrate this behavior even deeper because I wanted to get results faster. So for me, my cue, if there's any point where I'm like, damn, like I can just feel like my energy slipping, and like I notice that I don't have my posture like I was just talking about. So if that is the case, what I will do is, for me, I will tap this and I will go up. So in most religions, you're going down, right? If you do the sign of the cross, it's boom, 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 like down. Okay, I go boom, up. Why? Because for me, this is me meeting my creator, my God, halfway. Like, I'm trying, big guy. I'm trying. And I will tell you this too. If you go up and you immediately change that behavior, you also have to reinforce that behavior. So what are we going to do? Okay, going down the mall, like, oh, I've been going straight. Like, I have my heart pointed down. So like, oh, Marie said this. So whatever your cue is, like for me, it's this. And then the second you change that behavior, immediately within the next 3 seconds, pat on the back. Or, if you love, like, especially like maybe for the first few ones, like, oh, if you love chocolate, you can get the dopamine. You can get scientifically, you can get the chemical dopamine to reinforce that behavior. Now, that being said, I would not recommend eating a pound of chocolate trying to get this, okay? That's not what I'm telling you to do. But to get the dopamine, to get the happy rush of hormones that, oh, I did a good thing, we have to be our own greatest cheerleaders, okay? No one else is going to do it for you. You have to learn how to cheer yourself on. And one of the ways you have to learn to do that is learn how to reward yourself. What is it that truly makes you happy? What is it within the next 30 seconds that you do this behavior that you're going to be like, cool, that feels good? Pat on the back. Now, you can also do, and this is something I just realized in the last 30 seconds, pat on the back and you can give yourself a smile. I did it. I did it. Good job. And that's something else you can do, like pat on the back. Good job. You did it. You did something that you didn't think you could do. Or, hey, I actually got it right for the first time. It's like, getting that first A on a test that you ever took. So posture is going to be about all of that. And it's about going both ways on the neural pathway. So if you're sad, you start crying. If you start crying, you will feel sad. So that's why if you constantly have this, and here's the thing, you can do this when this posture I'm talking about, you can do it when you're sitting, you can do it when you're walking, you can do this at all times. Now, here's something else. I'm going to add this on. If you're an entrepreneur, every big major entrepreneur you've ever heard of, Alex Hormozzi, Layla, Tony Robbins, Iman Ghazi, any of the ones that are relevant right now today. Have you ever thought, like, where did they start? Did they just start spitting out millions and millions of dollars? Well, at least with Alex Hormozzi and Iman Ghazi, there's a pattern there. Did you notice that? There's a pattern. Where did they start? Bodybuilding, fitness, a fitness trainer. Now, why is that? Because when you're building, it pulls the shoulders back. Well, if all that muscle builds and it's pulling you back, you're lifting up your chest and you're doing what I'm already talking about. So this is not a secret science. It's just something that not a lot of people know about. Okay? That's why, and for me, one of my big things, pattern recognition. Learning a pattern, simplifying it down, and being able to recopy it as quickly as possible. Okay? I haven't got all day. I'm trying to get a company going. I'm trying to get a business going, like trying to improve my health, trying to live my life. I don't know about you, but I don't have all day. Trying to figure this stuff out as fast as I can. So for me, it's finding patterns. I mean, that's cheap, right? You just watch a couple YouTube channels and, ooh, pattern. Got it. Okay, let's go. Let's go do this thing. Fitness matters. And because of that bodybuilding, because of what they're doing, they were already, like, whether they know it or not, those people were already 10 steps ahead of everyone else because they had the physiology behind them to support the psychology. Okay, this is one of those big, like, oof. Now that you figured out your thoughts, now that you figured out like what you think about, we're going to start changing things. We took the inventory, we did the right thing. Now we're going to do it physically. Now we're going to start, instead of just stopping those thoughts, we're going to start changing it physically. Now I will add on one thing to the last video that maybe I didn't talk about. Let's just say you're having just these thoughts, like these really, whatever it is that you think about on a regular basis, and you don't want to think about it anymore. Okay? You don't want to think about it anymore. You want to move on. You want to do what I'm talking about. You want to live your life. You're like, had it with that, right? There's one more trick that I can give you that can help with that. So when you're going down the street, and this is where the cars are going to be important. So hopefully you can drive if you're watching this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to piggyback off a neural pathway that already exists for you. If you're going down the street and you hit a red light, what do? Yeah, that's right. You stop. Or how about an even better one? You're driving down the road and you hit this big hexagon with an STOP in the middle of it and it's white. What do? You stop. So the next time you're having a thought that you're like, I just cannot get this out of my head, Marie. It's not going anywhere. What do? I want you to, in your mind, you can close your eyes if it helps. I want you to imagine a big old red, bright engine red, flashing sign that says stop. And then I want you to immediately redirect your thoughts to something else. That thing that you know that you're supposed to be thinking about that you haven't been, let's get back to that. Stop, redirect, let's go. Why? Because the neural pathway is already there. You stop when you stop at the stop sign. You stop at the red light. It's already there. So we're going to use that neural pathway to get what we want to go, or to go where we want to go. Change what we want to change. It's already there. If you have a thought that you don't like, that you want to get rid of, stop, redirect, reinforce. So if you actually do that and you change your thoughts, I did good. Or the next time you stop, or if you do that, one of the next things you could do when you go into the mirror, like, I got this. Okay? So this is how we start changing the actual behavior. And then look, this one, the last 2 episodes that I gave you was like gold. Okay? It's the beginning stages, but like this one for me personally, this is where real change really started happening. I'm like, oh God, I feel better. I feel so much better when I started to do this. Okay? And not only that, but you also put your body in better alignment as well. And not only that, but you can thank me when you're in your 80s and you're not crouched over like this, like a little old lady, okay? You'll thank me later for this. Just you wait. Posture is everything. It also, remember about that inner sanctuary I was talking about? By my body posture, I can also share my inner peace. In order to share peace, you have to have some. You got to have some, okay? So inner peace is what matters on that. So these are just some tips and tricks for this episode. Like I said, it's freezing cold. It's late at night. It's been a long day, not gonna lie. So this is where things are for this episode. Now look, I want to get you guys caught up to sharing my entrepreneur journey, to where I want to go, what I want to do, things of that nature. So this is why even my friends and family are like, slow down, don't burn out, don't like, look, one crevasse. Unless my health has hit the floor, I've got 2 speeds. I've got fast and I've got faster, okay? This is something I truly believe in. I truly hope that I can help you guys And the only way I can do that is if I do these videos. And I'm not kidding. I sat down when I went to go do these videos, and I swear I have like 100 episodes that I need to record. And like most of them, like there's some that are like big, like, like thoughts and like levels. Okay, we're in the beginning level, but there's other levels, and like each level has like 20 or 30 episodes that I could put in that level. And it's like, yeah, gotta get cracking on this. And I am still getting over that cold, but at least I'm not coughing on this one because I don't have the editing equipment. And then an entrepreneur, like, one thing, no matter if you hear nothing else from me on this channel, if you hear nothing else from me in real life, I have one message that I want to share with you. And that is, be authentically you. Okay? There is no one else in this world like you. Your story is magical if you want it to be. So you too can create a YouTube channel documenting how you decided that you've had enough and you changed your life, or you decided to be an amazing teacher and how you helped your kids, or how you wanted to be an amazing mom and these videos helped you. So you can create a YouTube channel about following my YouTube channel if you so choose to. The world's your oyster. The sky's the limit. You can do anything you want to do. But first, we got to elevate your life. And we've talked about emotions, and we're going to get into more of that later because it all filters in, right? It's all interconnected. All interconnected. So emotions first, physiology next. And then the next thing that we're going to start jumping into here in a little bit, there's a few more mind tricks. There's a few more like mind building episodes that I need to get to, you guys, like visualizations, like one that I need to talk about. I also want to talk about on an entrepreneur thing, kings and queens. Yeah, we're going to get a little royal over here. Kings and queens. So there's a couple other things coming here soon too for you guys. But this one is also one of those big ones, okay? It's one of those episodes where when I say take your time, take your time. Now, that you're talking to someone who has two speeds, faster and faster, right? Or fast and faster, okay? There are times where you got to slow down. You got to do the work. And that's something that I'm finding out on the entrepreneur journey too. Like, I can try moving as fast as I can, but if I'm not moving in the right direction and if I'm not putting the right steps in front of each other, I can crash and burn. And I don't have time to crash and burn. I'm giving myself this year to do this YouTube channel and to truly try to get some money coming in from this company so that I can make changes that I want to change in my life. So in any case, that's a little bit about me. And so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And I will see you guys on the next one when we start clarifying a couple of things like visualization and also talking about kings and queens. So I'll see you next time. Get to work, and don't forget, you can elevate your life. So start elevating.